Tonight, more fallout from the U.S. raid in Venezuela and the arrest of its leader.
You're going to run the country.
The impacts the daring military operation could have on your wallet.
In all this discussion about oil, a question that comes up is how will this affect gas prices?
Milder Monday. The sun shines bright and temperatures climb nicely during the afternoon. The trends for the week ahead that also include a badly needed rain chance.
And tonight, a new era begins at 5 on your side as we begin broadcasting from the side of I-64. Welcome to our new state-of-the-art home at the Highlands. It's the spot where the old arena once stood, and now we're proud to call it home. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. We just moved in tonight, and we're finally happy to show it off to you. It has been more than a year in the making, so we hope that you love our new home as much as we do.
It's a state-of-the-art studio, and hopefully that will make what we do a little bit more efficient. We'll be able to get you the news a little bit more rapidly, and we just hope you enjoy the environment as we come into your homes every night.
Yes, we hope you do. And Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has a lot of new tools also to keep you updated on the ever-changing weather in St. Louis.
And tonight he's tracking a big January warm-up that starts tomorrow, right?
You know, temperatures have been slow to cool off tonight. We had some clouds that were tending towards keeping us in, warm, around 40 or so, but we have dropped back into the upper 30s. Don't think we're going to drop a huge amount beyond that as we look across the region for this evening. So our skies right now, they're mostly clear to partly cloudy, a few high, thin clouds. Look at your temperature trend for the next few days. Today, we were only in the low 40s. Tomorrow, we're in the upper 50s. It's 38 right now. 43 was our high today in St. Louis. The key to tonight's forecast, that wind out of the south. That keeps our temperatures from dropping too much. Upper 20s to lower 30s for most of us out the door early tomorrow as skies become mainly clear. And tomorrow, during the morning hours, mostly sunny skies will develop when temperatures will be in the mid-30s, going back into the 50s tomorrow afternoon. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll talk about our rain chances later in the week.
All right, Scott. Hours from now, Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife will make their first court appearance in New York City.
It comes 48 hours after the United States captured them during a surprise attack. Maduro faces multiple drug and weapons charges. His capture now raising many questions by Democrats about the nature of the U.S. actions. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says regime change is the goal.
We want Venezuela to move in a certain direction because not only do we think it's good for the people of Venezuela, it's in our national interest.
This was not simply a counter-narcotics operation. It was an act of war.
Tonight, many Venezuelans continue to celebrate the dictator's ousting, while detractors of President Trump continue to call the raid illegal.
5 on your side's Melody Johnson is live on the Tam Avenue overpass, which was packed with protesters hours ago.
Live on I-64 as protesters gathered to demand the impeachment of Donald Trump. Crowds on both sides of this sidewalk calling for the arrest of President Donald Trump as a criminal of war.
What Trump is doing is wrong. It's illegal.
Protesters gathering with signs to impeach, indict, and imprison President Donald Trump.
What Trump is doing with his administration is endangering us all.
Pat McCoy standing by his wife as the couple joined St. Louisans along I-64's Tam Avenue overpass during the hands-off Venezuela protest Sunday.
We've been through 9/11, and he's opening our borders up to that same kind of terrorism.
The group 5051 St. Louis staging the protest, saying President Trump's missile attacks and the capture of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and his wife goes way too far.
Donald Trump is a war criminal.
For AD, a Venezuelan living in the Gateway City, Maduro's arrest represents freedom.
When we talk about a war and explosions and just invading Venezuela, to Venezuelans and to us, to our point of view, that is not happening. What is happening is someone that was removed from the government who was put there in an unconstitutional way.
It sounds like Maduro was a bad man and he needed to be gone, but the way we went about doing it was totally wrong.
The anti-Trump and no war for oil message.
Get out, express your opinion. That's what we're all about. It's the American way.
Met with safety risks when one organizer says a suspicious car tried to interrupt their protest.
This is the future of our democracy that I'm willing to step out and speak up and not be intimidated.
We saw several St. Louis police officer vehicles drive by during the protest. Good news to report, the protest did end peacefully. Live in St. Louis, Melanie Johnson, 5 on your side.
President Trump says the U.S. has interest in Venezuela's oil reserve.
5 on your side's Laura Barcheski joins us in studio. And Laura, so the big question following this military action is, how will this affect gas prices?
Well, Mike and Kelly, analysts say the short term, we could actually see an increase in gas prices. But in the long term, if things go according to President Trump's plan, we could see prices go down. Legislators from across the bi-state are reacting following the capture of Venezuela's president. Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski said in a statement, quote, "The president has just sidestepped Congress, launched a strike on Venezuela, and deployed U.S. troops. This is an act of war." Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt says it's not a military posture for some sort of takeover. It's about core interests.
I think this administration's made it clear they're going to continue to engage at the highest level with that government. We have interests. Of course, oil companies are going to get the oil back that was stolen from them.
Venezuela has the world's largest crude oil reserves, about 303 billion barrels. Tapping into that is a priority for President Trump.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
But these changes are going to take time. 5 on your side political analyst Anita Mannion says uncertainty following this political action could temporarily raise prices at the pump.
The markets sometimes will price in uncertainty and geopolitical risk, and so that could actually temporarily have a slight increase on prices, but I wouldn't expect a large impact, partially because Venezuelan crude makes up a relatively small portion of the total oil supply right now.
Mannion says prices could go down in the future, but it's going to take years and billions of dollars.
Ever since President Trump put Venezuelan sanctions on Venezuelan oil in 2017, their oil production plummeted after that. And so, it will take a lot to get that up and productive again in a way that would actually impact our gas prices at home.
The price of U.S. crude oil was up less than a percentage point today at $57.39 per barrel. Only time will tell if it continues to go up.
Just hours from now, a hearing will be held to help settle a squabble over who gets to pick the next St. Louis sheriff. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is asking a judge to block Board of Alderman President Megan Green from setting up a special election to replace Alfred Montgomery. For now, former Police Chief John Hayden will continue to serve as interim sheriff.
Jennings High School students will have to wait to return to the building after winter break. It is due to ongoing repairs from a burst pipe last month. Students are being asked to stop by the school tomorrow to pick up their technology devices. Remote learning will start Tuesday. Students are expected to return to the building January 12th.
We're learning more tonight about a deadly crash in North St. Louis that left a pedestrian dead. Police say a man dressed in dark clothing was crossing North Florissant at Hebert Street around 7 last night when he was hit by an SUV. The man was taken to the hospital where he died. The driver remained on scene and the crash remains under investigation. And tonight, one woman is dead. 2 others are recovering after a 2-car crash in the Central West End. St. Louis police say a Dodge Durango and a Hyundai Santa Fe collided late last night at the intersection of Vandeventer and McPherson. The driver of the Hyundai was thrown from her car. She later died at the hospital. 2 people in the other SUV were also taken to the hospital with injuries. Police are still trying to figure out which driver ran a red light.
2 popular spots in the Del Mar Maker District are preparing to call it quits. Just a year and a half after opening, Steve's Hot Dogs and the Fountain on Del Mar are closing their doors. Both businesses rebuilt after the May 16th tornado, but recovery along Del Mar has been slow. Rising costs, changing spending habits, and less traffic in the neighborhood have made it harder to keep their businesses going.
You have the rent, and you have the overhead, and you also have just people's habits change. Traffic changes, all kinds of stuff.
The construction recovery is slow. Some people are moving out and moving on to other neighborhoods. And so right now this just is an area that doesn't have a lot of density to support a business like ours. So it was a heartbreaking decision for sure.
Instead of walking away, both businesses are pivoting. Steve's will be adding a food truck. The Fountain plans to partner more with local universities.
He was shot in the line of duty and forced to give up his badge.
I felt that disconnect from the community.
Tonight, how a former police officer is finding new purpose with his new podcast while supporting his brothers and sisters in blue.
I think it's therapeutic for me, but it's also therapeutic for them.
Our best opportunity for rain in a while appears to arrive on Thursday. How much rain is possible and why it seems to be such a struggle for us to see any snow in the next week.
Claims are made every year covering everything from physical.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
A St. Louis police officer nearly loses his life in the line of duty and the career he thought he'd have forever. What comes next isn't about what he lost, it's about what he chose to do. In tonight's Making a Difference report, how the former officer found a new way to serve the people who serve us.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Built Different podcast.
The badge is gone. The calling isn't.
We're changing it up a little bit today.
Here in a small studio in St. Louis County, former city police officer Colin Ledbetter is back on duty, just serving in a different way.
It takes a lot out of you, and you.
Now, instead of a radio, he's got a podcast called Built Different, giving first responders something they rarely get. Time to talk.
You got to worry about not only yourself, you got to worry about them because they don't know anything.
The police uniform anywhere nowadays is immediate trigger factor.
My ultimate goal as a police officer is to leave somebody in a better spot than I find them.
Long before he sat behind a microphone, there was a kid from Vandalia, Illinois, who didn't just want to serve, he wanted to make it count.
I wanted to do the most. If I was going to do this job, I wanted to be able to do the most.
He joined the Army National Guard, then the St. Louis Police Department, hitting the streets in the 6th District, where calls come fast and danger comes faster. And on January 26, 2022, it all came at once. Colin and his partner, Officer Nathan Spees, were chasing a homicide suspect when both were shot. A bullet severed Colin's femoral artery. He flatlined. Doctors say he needed nearly 3 times the blood in a human body just to stay alive. Weeks later, when he finally left the hospital, the city he nearly died protecting was waiting. And on his way home, they drove him past police headquarters and the new soccer stadium that was still going up.
I remember seeing all the cops and everything lined up out there, but the thing that really got me was when I turned around to get back in my car, all the workers that were working on that stadium turned around and clapped as well.
He survived, but his career didn't.
I was 25 years old, and I don't know who I am now, basically.
Thanks for coming.
So the officer who once answered everyone else's emergencies had to figure out his own.
I'm going to have you squeeze on that a couple more times.
Blood drives came first, paying forward the gift that saved his life. But something was missing. He missed the people who understood him best.
I felt that disconnect from the community, law enforcement, just first responder community. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I really love to give back somehow.
That somehow became Built Different, produced with Trueline Media Group, where first responders who never talk finally do.
When you come home and you're just feeling like super heavy, I don't know if I can share this with you, having that already planned out can really help.
It's a show about first responders, a side of them that you don't always get to see. And it's a conversation that people enjoy watching.
For Colin, it's part mission, part medicine.
I think it's therapeutic for me, but it's also therapeutic for them. They get to share their story, and everyone's got a story, especially in this line of work. Hanging out with friends outside of the department.
He can't ride in a squad car anymore, so he's driving something different, a conversation.
It brightens me up a little bit. These types of guys are not used to being in the limelight. It's not all glamorous.
Colin Ledbetter, a cop who almost lost his voice forever, has a new chapter, making sure the people still answering the call finally get the last word.
I hope you learned something today about me or about the podcast.
And if you're looking for the podcast Built Different, it is available on YouTube. And a reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
Terrifying moments for passengers on a transit bus in Houston, Texas. The bus fell from an overpass during the Saturday afternoon rush. Police say the bus was struck from behind, causing it to roll over and plummet down an embankment. More than a dozen people were taken to the hospital. We are told none of their injuries are life-threatening. The crash remains under investigation.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the weather impact forecast. And Scott, the nice thing that we can look forward to is a big warm-up this week.
Yeah, temperature's going to be above average. We're thinking close to 60 tomorrow, probably just shy, but then above 60 degrees on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
Little spring-like.
Little spring-like, and we'll get some rain in here towards the end of the week, which we badly need. It is so dry. Take a look at what's going on out there right now. We're looking at the live Lambert feed right now. That is the flight from San Diego that just landed. There's another one coming in right behind it from Atlanta. In the meantime, our weather's pretty good. Winds are out of the south at the moment. That is leading to the warmer temperatures. Sunshine will be with us tomorrow. I know we had the clouds today. It wasn't as bright as we wanted it to be, but it will get much warmer and brighter tomorrow. And then as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, we still are dry. The badly needed rain expected to return into our area by Thursday. And you can see that reflected here in the next 7 days. Mild weather through the end of the week. The storm track on Thursday into Friday is going to dictate whether we're 5 degrees too warm, 5 degrees too cool, and also the potential for the heavier rainfall. More likely than not, the intense thunderstorm action that we see with this system potentially stays well to our south and southeast. Had a little disturbance sliding by to our north today. That brought us some of those clouds. Still looking at the active weather out to our west, and that energy that's now pushing into the west coast, eventually it works towards us, and it does tap some of that moisture from the Gulf, and that's going to bring us pretty decent opportunities for maybe a half an inch to an inch of rain as we head towards the end of the week. That's not happening tomorrow. Winds are out of the south at 5. We're in the mid to upper 50s for the afternoon hours tomorrow. That's looking good. Tuesday's good. Wednesday's still dry. By the time we get to Thursday morning, we start spreading that rain in across the region. It's all rain for us. There's no question about that. It's just too warm for there to be any snow anywhere close to us. You got to go way to the north and west. Now, if the track of the system's farther north and west than what we think, then the potential's there that we get some stronger thunderstorms in southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. If the track's a little farther south and east, we may be a little bit too warm, and our rainfall amounts may be a little more limited. Either way, into Friday, the chance for showers will continue across our area, and then all of that pushes away as we head into the weekend, and that allows colder air to once again return to the area. So by Saturday and Sunday next weekend, it's chilly, but it should be a fairly bright weekend next weekend. As far as rainfall amounts go, just a quick look here. We're talking about upwards of a half an inch to close to an inch by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, which we badly need because the drought monitor shows the drought spreading across Missouri and Illinois.
I'm Paul Cook, your traffic guy from Today in St. Louis, and it's time to go on the move. Heads up, a possible headache to start the year if you use I-44 to get into the city. MoDOT will close 2 lanes of Interstate 44 all this week during daylight hours, starting tomorrow morning at 8:30, going until 6:30 each evening. They tell me they're making much needed pavement repairs on 44 eastbound between Kings Highway and 38th Street. So this is just north of Missouri Botanical Garden and Tower Grove Park. There's a very high amount of drivers using this interstate in the morning going the same direction as the lane closures, headed east to downtown. Drivers should consider alternate routes like Shaw Avenue and, of course, 6440. I'll keep you updated on any changes. Lots of road work to begin 2026. Awareness is key. Please go slower and stay safe out there. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
St. Louis on the cutting edge of Olympic glory. The big bucks downtown businesses are hoping to land.
33 days and counting until the Winter Olympics, and right now the road to Milan Cortina is making a stop in St. Louis. Team USA will be selected this week at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships at Enterprise Center.
And hours ago, practice sessions wrapped up for novice and junior skaters at Centene Community Ice Center in Maryland Heights. The athletes vying for a spot on the U.S. Olympic team will hit the ice at Enterprise later this week. The event expected to draw thousands of fans, coaches, and athletes to downtown. And the St. Louis Sports Commission says all those people will pump about $10 million into the local economy. And downtown restaurants, bars, and shops are hoping to land more business.
We've definitely been getting preparations ready. Doing the schedule this week was fun, but we're set up and ready to go.
I've grown up here my entire life, so it's really, really nice to see St. Louis kind of just like get a bigger platform and grow into a bigger city.
The junior and novices will compete tomorrow and Tuesday at Centene. The seniors will begin practice Tuesday at Enterprise Center. Competition will run through Wednesday through Sunday. Tickets are still available, and we have a link in the As Seen on TV section on KSDK.com. 5 on Your Side, of course, is your home for the Winter Olympics.
Coverage begins February 6th with the opening ceremony. And we are counting down to the Winter Games on our free streaming app. Watch our special on demand by searching KSDK in your smart TV's app store.
Well, as we told you at the top, it's our first night here at our new home here at the Highlands.
You have already seen our state-of-the-art studio. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barteski gives you a quick tour of the areas you won't always see on TV.
Hey everybody, it is an exciting day here at 5 on Your Side. We are officially starting work in our new home at the Highlands over near Forest Park, and I'm going to take you on a tour. Here we are in the lobby. We have an awesome new setup here in the lobby, some new furniture. Welcome home. We have a great photo wall featuring some iconic moments over our years at our previous home downtown. Here's our brand new studio. Awesome new studio. Everybody hard at work trying to get everything going. Say hi, Scott. Hi. Getting there. Here's our little break area. Great new kitchen. And here is the newsroom where all the magic happens. They don't have any computers right now running.
And for us, I think one of the great things is, you know, we were in the basement for so long at 1000
Yes.
Market. We've got windows.
I
and
know.
we can see Forest Park.
We didn't have any light down there. Now there are windows everywhere.
There's windows everywhere. You go into the newsroom, it's nice and bright, and of course that makes everybody happy.
Right.
And there's sun tomorrow, so the day shift tomorrow will be excited.
That's good news. There you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10, a late edition. A reminder, we're always streaming on your schedule on 5+.
And start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 5 a.m. Sports Plus, where Frank Cusimano is next.